Hello Scorpio, I am Ulrich, I'm a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do the Lenormand card reading for the month of September 2021 for the sign of Scorpion. On the table here you see 9 cards. These will be the cards that we will use for the 9-card portrait. You can see also 4 objects on the table, meaning we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Scorpion for the month of September 2021. Now, from these 4 objects, you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. If the object of your choice and the related video does not match your first choice, check the other videos that follow here also. Now, the matches here represent the fire element, excuse me. The piece of stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Scorpio, here we go for your card reading for September 2021. Hello Scorpio, and welcome to the shell or the water group for the card reading of September 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that starting 27th of September, Mercury is running retrograde, meaning it's not a good time to sign contracts, agreements, anything that you need to put your name under that officializes it. It's not a good thing to do. When Mercury runs retrograde, after things start sometimes to go wrong, meaning we want to get out of the contract, we don't like the contract anymore, we interpreted the contract wrong, we feel that the terms are wrong, anything that is applying to the contract is not convenient for us anymore. So it's best during that time not to sign any contract. The period goes to 18th of October. Also, you will see at that time there are more traffic jams. You are late. People who come to you are late. The traffic is delayed. The buses are delayed. The trains are delayed. Flights are canceled. These are all things with Mercury retrograde. It's because the collective mind, the mind of all the people, is going a little bit slower. Also, during that time, it's not a good idea to buy new equipment. There is laundry machines, microwaves, cell phones. Why? Because these are connected to warranty contracts and something can go wrong with the warranty contract as well. So, coming to all this, if you can avoid for buying something or signing something, better to do so. If for some reason you are unable to not sign a contract and you're obligated in some way, please triple check the contract before you put your name under it, because maybe later on you will regret it. So Scorpio, here we go with your card reading for September 2021. The first card we see here, this is your personal card. This is the letter, meaning probably you are waiting on some important document for you, because the letter is not just an ordinary message. It's a message that actually can be translated in money, like a degree, a deed, a bond, a document that has money value, or that can be translated in money. So probably this is a document that will make you literally or physically grow, because the tree is always letting things grow. And with the letter, probably it is directly attached to the document. It's possible that this document is heavy because the tree is heavy and it's rooted. But it's possible also that this document, maybe during to the Mercury retrograde, is a little bit delayed, because the mice sometimes delay things. It's also very important that you check all the details in this document or in this contract. If this is a package, if it arrives to your door, just check it thorough so everything is all right with it. Then we go on more details for the letter and the tree. If this relates sometimes to our health also, so I want to mention this also. So maybe you decide to do some general checkup, and you are waiting from some lab results. Sometimes it's better with the mice that we double check everything, because sometimes maybe the result is unclear. We don't believe the results. So in this case, you can ask for a second opinion, or you can ask for a second test if the results would be not what you think they are. In another way, this could mean that you are referred from a doctor to another specialist. This is possible also. Also, here we have maybe a little bit less communication. We are communicating more through gestures. Also, this makes us a little bit calm as a person. And it's possible also that we talk a lot about ancestors or things that happened in the past to us. It's possible you do this test because for the moment you feel a little bit under the weather. Maybe you're easy to get a cold, or you don't feel very strength. Maybe there you have stress for a while. Maybe there's a situation before that happened that caused this stress, and it has an impact on your immune system. Maybe you come out of a difficult situation before. Maybe sometimes this points also to us that we need to cleanse our body in a way. So there are many ways to cleanse our body. So you need to check out how you could do this. Maybe you even, for some of people, you will feel very weak. For some of us, it can even mean a burnout. Then we have the dog, the tower, and the child. The dog and the tower is like the tower is the dog is loyalty, and the dog is borders. So here, if this is a friendship, if you have a friend, possibly your friend is is high placed. If that is on the front of authority in general, it means this is this could be a friendship that is one-sided based. It's possible also with this combination that your friends, for some reason, in some situations, don't want to recognize you. Here also we can have friends in another way. We can have friends in high places. Some advisor could come to us. Maybe something new is coming in our life because the child is something new, and we want to take advice of somebody high placed, somebody in a higher position. It's possible also because sometimes the tower make things return, things out of the past come back to us, and it's possible that a friend out of your childhood is coming back in your life. If this is an employee in your business, if you would have a business, or if this is a colleague, or if this is a boss, you could have a very good relationship with your boss because the dog is the friend. So it's possible that you see your friend as a boss, or he sees you as a friend. There's some form of confidence here, and there's some innocence going on also. But anyway, we need to know our place where we are. So we always need to be a little bit careful with this combination. It's also possible here that you ask something to a responsible or to a boss, and that you are a little bit disappointed because the answer that you get for a certain question, this is on one question, then that the answer is no. So maybe you need to find another way to initiate this new thing or this initiative, to do it in another way. But anyway, this points to support of a person in authority. Then we have the child and the tower here. This points, if we have children, it's possible that we have children that are still studying. This is a possibility here also that is possible. We have a child maybe that is in university or in high school or in college here. Also, sometimes this can point, as I mentioned earlier, it's close to it, that we point something, that we turn something old in something new. So something that is going on already for a long time, we give it like a new life. This is possible here also with this combination. in a way also, it's possible that for some reason, our child is a little bit distant to us, because the tower gives some form of distance. And for some reason, our child could be a little bit distant to us, or figuratively, as we saw, maybe the child goes to university or a school far away. It's a physical distance, and it's more difficult to communicate with the person itself. Then we have the third line. We have the rider, the bear, and the key. The rider and the bear, it means that some news is coming to us. The news could be quite strong, because the rider is a strong card. It's an intrusive card. It's an energetic card. So it's possible here that if you are in the job field, you get some news of a manager. In another case, it could be news from the mother, or news from the parents, because this could be the parents also, or you get some news from the parents. Something need to be solved there. This message that you get, it need to bring a solution, and you will find the solution because the key is here. So if there is some issue or some problem with your parents that need to be straightened out, maybe they have a personal problem and you need to help them working out, there will come a solution for them. It's possible also that this help is about finances, because sometimes the bear is related to finances. And maybe this problem need to be solved, but you will work it out for them because you have the key there. The message is mostly positive because the key is yes. So you will be able to solve the problem, and there will be a yes connected to, so you will be able to solve it. This also sometimes point that money is coming. Maybe the money is coming to you, maybe it's coming to them, or maybe you help money coming to them. It's possible here also in another way, if you are younger, that you have the feeling that your parents are quite intrusive for you. Maybe they come on your territory, on your domain, maybe in your room, and you don't like it too much. The solution for this would be that you communicate about it, because the key is here. So maybe if you talk to them about it, they would respect your boundaries, because the tower is boundaries. Maybe it's not clear for them what are the boundaries. Maybe they still think that you are the young child. So maybe you need to have a calm discussion with them about these boundaries, that you like your room or your private area to stay private, and that there is knock on the door for coming in. This is possible here also with this combination. Maybe it's possible also that one of both parents is quite strict, maybe quite dominant, but anyway, for the boundaries, you need to communicate about that, so this is understood. Even their personality might be strict, or it might be correct, or it might be dominant, but this does not give them the right to intrude in your private life. So you need to work this out if this is the case. Then we have the bear and the key on itself. Again, here, this is about crossing boundaries. You will give them, if this is worked out, you will give them restricted access to your room. You will put up boundaries here. You can build up a trust with them again, if they respect these boundaries. Also, in a way, if they respect these boundaries, you will feel more free. It's like you want more liberation in this area. You want this situation to be changed. Here sometimes also it points, if we have a teacher in another interpretation, this is like we communicate, or a teacher communicates to us, and we have certain structural problems, maybe in a school, maybe in an education area, if we are adult, and this person provides a certain solution for us that we have concerning structures, concerning documents. This could be, for instance, there is a problem with a degree that we achieved or over the past. There's some issue with the degree. I just give an example here, and this person works this out for us. It's also possible that you study up a little bit, because the bear is also the teacher, that that you study up a little bit for certain areas in your personal life for getting ahead of things. And then we have the vertical lines here. We have the letter, the dog, and the rider. So here we have, there's a message coming to us. This is a message, it could be a message from a friend. The message could be coming quite fast to us. Maybe we are a little bit surprised about this message, but the message is quite substantial. It's also almost like more like a package. Something is coming to us, but anyway, it would be of a friend. A friend is leaving us a message. In a way, also, this is, if we have pets, this is like documents regarding to a pet. If you're planning to cross borders, because sometimes this is the borders, or if you want to change location, sometimes documents are required, and this is possible. These are documents that you need for your pet, and that is another interpretation. Maybe also in a way we talk less. There's a different kind of communication with this friend. Maybe we ask for advice, and this friend tells us how we act the best here. We follow his advice, or in some cases we follow his orders. Maybe this friend is higher placed, or he has more experience in the field. So we take his advice and we follow his advice here. In a way, also, this means that if we follow the advice of this person, we will be granted access for taking actions that we have, that we want to take. So if we follow the orders, the protocol, I would say here, or the rules, we will get permission for achieving what we want to. So there's this kind of agreement. You agree with what people tell you to do. Then we have the dog and the rider in itself. Again, we see here sometimes that it's possible that this friend is higher placed, and the limits are changed, but it doesn't mean that this person don't want to help you anymore. But some things are changed in the friendship. Maybe he's higher placed, but maybe he still help you for old time's sake. This is possible also with this combination. Here again, we see the permission that you receive for taking certain actions. It's also possible that you yourself help a friend that is in problem, and the situation is the same. Maybe this friend is higher placed, or you are higher placed than him, but you still decide to help him. Sometimes friendship has no boundaries, as we know. Then we have here the tree, the tower, and the bear. The tree and the tower means that if we want to achieve a certain position in our life, this is possible, and we have the possibility here to slowly grow. As I mentioned earlier, this could also be related to the medical exam that we saw earlier, because the tower sometimes also can represent hospitals, that we do some tests in the hospital that we want to do. In another way, this is if we are in things like yoga, meditation, this could represent like a center, a meditation center. This could be like more, if you want some quiet in your life, it's possible that also here, this points to that you have a more quiet place where you live, because the tower is alone and the tree represents forest. So this would be like an area where you live. And in general, the bear is a solitude animal. So it's possible that you choose for a while to live in a more quiet place, or maybe you live in a quiet place. This is possible also here. Also at this time, you would have some patience, a lot of patience. Maybe something in your life requires patience. You're controlling your patience. You're controlling the foundations of the matter. It's possible that this period that you want to be alone is taking quite a while, because the tower is a slow card. It's more like an isolation, but a wanted isolation. It's something that you yourself want, that you take distance from some people, maybe especially from people who were in charge of you before. Maybe you want to take some distance from a parent to think about certain situations in your life. This is possible also. If you have created certain stabilities in your life, it's possible that it's easy to make this move to go more in solitude. Maybe you worked hard before in your life, and now it's time to get some rest in nature. This is not obligate. This is a voluntary retreat, as they say. There's a very strong focus on this because the tower is very focused. It knows what he wants. If you have some documents, see that everything is in order, because with this case, sometimes documents regarding to governments go a little bit on the slow side. Maybe the building that you are living, some people would tell you to take it down, but I don't think you will, because you will keep the building as it is. Maybe you're planning to renovate it in the way you want it, or the way it was before. Maybe this is a place where you go as a child before with your parents, and the building is now showing signs of age, and people tell you just to tore the place down, but maybe you want to renovate it in its original condition as it was before. It's like you want to protect it here. If you are waiting on some documents from governments, and you think they're going to change their point of view, or in the close future, the regulation will change, it will not. It will stay the same. So don't wait on a change of regulation or rules, because this tells you that the rules and regulations are not about to change anytime soon. If you are in a certain position on your life, maybe your course of life goes slow and steady, maybe you're in a management position, that may be sometimes why you want some being alone. Maybe there's a lot of stress in the job. It's possible with the mice there. There's some stress in the job. There's a lot of details in the job, a lot of things we need to attend to. It's possible that your life is going very slow, that the progress is going slow in your life. And it's possible that you achieve the top of your career over 60, because this combination here, it points to people that have the top of the career very late in life, meaning between 60 and even 75 years of age. So this is possible here with this combination also. It's like you get the better promotions higher in your life, or you choose to progress more in a more mature life, in a more mature age of your life. In another way, it's also possible, if you're connected to natural healing methods, that you're fairly advanced in that. This is a total other perspective of it, but sometimes the tree points to healing, the tower is the structure. It's like this could be like a master in that field. So it's possible that you are involved in this in the world of healing, that you're literally, if you're in that realm, it's a different thing, that I'm a different angle I'm going to say here now, that you are connected to the other world, possibly even the world of the people who are passed away, and that you have some shamanic connection to them. There's a deep knowledge here as a herborist in the way. In another way, this can sometimes also point to a doctor, literally a specialist, a person who is high placed, that might help you for if you would have some health issue. Maybe if you would have a health issue and you're a little bit under the weather, maybe that's why you retreat here and you go in a quiet area. Maybe there's some physical boundaries for relaxing your mind. It's possible also, if you are there in that place, people ask you, why are you going there? Maybe some friends ask you, why don't you want to talk to us anymore? and they have difficulties to understand why you want this retreat. It's difficult to explain, but you know, if you feel that you're alone there, you feel more energetic. It's like more energy is coming to you if you are alone. Like the solitude in nature here, the retreat in nature gives you more energy. Also, it's like you can figure out your boundaries where you want to go here. This is what we see here also. It's like you get more energy here with this whole thing. Maybe sometimes because of difficult situations, sometimes it gives you literally headache and you need some time alone. And if you're there in nature, this problem is worked out. Then we have the tower and the bear in itself. If this would be you, and you are going to a certain top position, it's possible that you take some distance from your employees. If this is you, and you are the employer, it's possible that there is a certain distance that you create towards your employees. You are friendly with them, of course, but there's a social distance, which is the case in most businesses. But I'm just mentioning this here also. This is a person. If this is you as a person, this makes you very ambitious. You want to reach the top, no matter what your age is, as we saw here before. You are really want to manage your business. You want to reach the top in whatever field or whatever area that you are. This could go from natural healing to top management. So here, this is a person that is ambitious in the area that he has chosen to be in. Then we have the mice, the child. Maybe if we have children, it could be that our children are a little bit stressed for the moment. They are all over the place. Maybe if they visit us, they make appointments, they are late. It's possible also they are delayed for some reason. It's also possible that they get more mature. That you notice that they get more independence, that they get more maturity here. They are a little bit stressed. Maybe they are stressed with new situations where they come in. Also, I want to mention then here, if you have a child also, and you have communication with them, maybe they will not accept your advice, but maybe you can mention here, sometimes this points to that some things from them could be stolen. So just tell them to be careful with their goods if they accept that advice, because this sometimes could be also that some things of our children get stolen. It's possible also that the child in itself has less energy. This is possible also. You will notice also that the child gets more serious, it gets more structured. We have the tower here. It's like the playfulness is going away of the child. You see they're actually maturing here. Then we have the child and the key in itself. If you are in some new area of your life, or your child is, because maybe this relates to the child, maybe the person feels more vulnerable. Maybe they come in the next stage of their life, and for now they feel more vulnerable. It's important that you understand that they are in a different step of their life, and maybe you need to approach this in a friendly and a structural way. Maybe there's a certain need for that. One need to open ourselves up for understanding their stress, their problems. Maybe there's a lot of details that they need to take care of in their life now. Maybe they are not familiar with this situation before, and sometimes some help is required. Some friendly help, I mean here, for guiding them in a good place, or guiding them on the right way. This could happen then in a structural and a friendly way. It's not here the intention that we do this in a dominant way. The child could feel more vulnerable here also. It's possible also in another way that the child that we have, or son or daughter, is connected to some spiritual things, and maybe they are in a certain form of relaxation therapy, they are in some certain form of spiritualism. This is possible also with this combination. It's like the child want to self itself free. It's like it's waiting on some form of liberation. Maybe it takes the next step in his life. Maybe it goes into adulthood over 18. Maybe it goes in puberty. So there's some changes going on here with if you would have a child. This applies also if you have some form of business. It applies the same here because we have the tower here or on the structures of your life. Then we have the cross. We have the letter, the tower, and the key. This is, as we saw earlier, this is very official news that is coming to you. We saw this earlier in the laying. Official news is come to you. This is important news, and this news will bring an important solution if you're facing certain problems. In some cases also this could be, as I said, an upgrade of a degree. But anyway, how I see this here, this document that you are waiting from the government, for an institution, from a teacher, it will bring a solution for a certain problem that you are facing right now. The document is legal. If you're waiting for a building permit, maybe the building permit there from that you have in the you want to renovate the house there in the quiet area. If you're waiting on that building permit, the building permit will come true. So it will maybe not go fast, but the permit is on its way. So if you want to renovate some older building there, the permit, maybe you think maybe this is in a forest area and sometimes it's difficult to adjust the rules for getting more expansion, because sometimes it limits us to the measurements that the building has, but maybe you want to expand it a little bit, and sometimes it's difficult for getting these adjustments, for that the government says yes for these adjustments, for these expansions. But if you want here, even with expansions, you will be allowed to do so. Because this is a building permit. If you plan it well, the permit will come true. Here also, as I said earlier, this is a person that achieves the top of the career later. It's possible also here with this combination that you are planning later in your life. Maybe you have the plans already for a long time to grow yourself independent more. If you apply for some documents for your business, this will be approved also. So this is also a combination here that is possible. Maybe you want more independence in your life, or you want to do this as a sideline and you're thinking already for that for a long time. So this is possible here also. Then we have the tower and the key on itself. This means literally this is good luck with authorities, because the key opens all the doors. You have the key here in your hand for opening the opening to authorities. If you ask them something in a structural way, you will receive. Some of the things that you will ask them will maybe quite new for them. Maybe they need to look it up. But anyway, the permission here is there. You will have good luck with the authorities, and they will grant you permission for the things that you ask them. Here, this is a certain style of life that we have. It's possible also that you lead a certain lifestyle that is very structured, very organized, and it's possible in the future that you would change a little bit about that. You would become like more open-minded. You would see things in a broader perspective, and you would lose a little bit the old structures that you have for a long time. Because sometimes with the mice, it can soften us up, not softens up, but it bites a little bit on our structure. It softens up, it diminishes the structure that we have. And we see the child here, the child makes us think about structures in a different way. And if you do so, it will have a positive effect. If you open up more, it will have a positive effect on you as a person. It's like you go more in a laissez-faire. Let's go. We just drop the structures. We lower our guard a little bit. This is possible, and it probably will have a positive effect on you. Then we have the mice, the tower, and the rider. Here, it's possible that if we are waiting on documents from the government, there are some speed bumps, but we will then receive them. It's possible it goes a little bit slow. Maybe the things that you ask are a little bit uncommon, and it might take a little bit of time for receiving these documents, but they're on its way, and you have the key here also. Then here, maybe if you were in a certain position in your life, it's possible that this position in your work is you want it, it's not so strong anymore in a way, because the mice sometimes lessen the strength. So it's possible also that this position in your work don't have the same authority as it had before, and maybe you lose some control in some areas, and maybe this makes the job for you less satisfying. So it's possible that you want to take some distance because of this, and you want something else in your life, and maybe that is why you're making plans for something else. It's possible that we are in a position of authority in our life, but for some reason priorities changed. We don't have the same authority, don't have the same power, the same strength anymore, and we see some of our authorities changing, and we cannot control them anymore, and we don't feel very happy about it. So we want to get out of there. Maybe some other authority is controlling us in a different way, and we don't want to be controlled in that way. This is all legal. Maybe some legal documents changed, and this is put it's put in organization now, and maybe you don't really like it. Maybe at a time you're very long in that position. There's some arguments about that. You are on your field, and you tell to the person this is already so many years ago, and there comes some argument about that. There's like you attack the authority, or the authority attack you, and there's some arguments here, and you're not both impressed about each other. So maybe there's some changes here possible. So Scorpio, for the water group, this is all for this month. I hope you enjoyed your card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are following here. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you maybe next time. Bye bye now. Thank you. Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to the Aerosol or the Air Group for your card reading for September 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that starting 27th of September, Mercury is going retrograde, meaning this is not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, make arrangements that we need to officially put our name under. It's not a good idea to sign anything that is officially during that period. This is the period that goes until 18th of October. You will also see that there is delays in the traffic, that you are in traffic jams, the trains are delayed, the buses are delayed, you arrive late at places, people arrive late at appointments. These are all things that are happening with Mercury retrograde. Also, if we wait on packages, letters, notes, some things that need to come to us in general, they tend to become later to us and not at the right time. This is all happening because our mind during that time, the collective mind of all the people, is working a little bit slower. So everything seems to be a little bit more chaotic in that time. So during that time, it's especially not good for signing contracts. Also, if you need to buy new devices for housekeeping, laundry machine, or a microwave, or even electronic devices, it's not a good thing to do. because these things are connected to warranties, and sometimes a warranty problem pops up. If not a warranty problem, sometimes the wrong device is delivered, we need to send it back, and then the situation becomes a little bit hectic. So during that time, it's not a wise thing to do so. If for some reason you need to sign a contract because you move or whatever the reason is, you're obligated to sign the contract. Double, triple check the contents of the contract, because maybe later on you change your mind, you want to get rid of the contract, you want to change some clauses in the contract, it's no longer possible, you want to change your mind, but you cannot change your mind anymore. So be very careful what you do at that time. So my advice to you during this period is not to sign any form of contracts during the period 27 September up to 18 October. So Scorpio, here we go for your card reading now. Your first personal card here is the ship. The ship points to travel. That's the most logical thing here we see here. This is travel, or there's a strong longing for some travel. This can also point to business. It could mean that you want to do some business in some cases in abroad. It could also represent banking or money. If this represents a longing, we will go over several possibilities here. If you want to travel, possibly before you were a couple, or you still are a couple, but maybe the person is in another place. It's possible here also that you want to travel as a couple. Maybe you're longing for more freedom for now, and you want to travel together for exploring your freedom. Maybe for a long time you've been in a certain structure, you want to get out of this structure, and you want to be more free, you want to discover the world, as they say. But we will go in more details now of the ship and birds here. So as I said, this is a couple that is traveling. Also, it's possible that you explore a lot of things, maybe for this travel on the media platforms, on the internet. It's also possible that you have a very good communication with your spouse or with your partner. Sometimes it's possible that you don't even need to talk to each other, that you understand. Maybe you're already a long time together and you understand each other, even if you don't need to talk, you know the ways. I don't mean this in a boring way, but it's like a mutual understanding that is coming very convenient, and it's very easy for the both of you. There's a lot of talking here about a journey. Maybe this could be a business adventure that you're going in. Maybe if this is a business adventure, you do it together with a partner, or some other people are involved in that. It could be that the situation is a little bit hectic. It's possible that you put money here in public because the garden is public. So you put, maybe it's like you go on the stock market here. But there's some other people possibly involved, possible people that are close to you that are going with you in this business adventure. If we leave, maybe the leaving is suddenly, it's a little bit chaotic here, that we suddenly decide to travel, or we suddenly try to go in this business adventure. It's like you are busy exploring this new road of freedom, this new business adventure that you want to engage in. Then we have the birds and the garden in itself. There's a lot of communication, as I said. There's a lot of stress here going on. Sometimes maybe you think there is too much communication about this. It's possible also that for this new venture, you do some seminars, you go to some public speakers, you observe them to know what you really want. Maybe this is not your field of work, but you want to engage in it. So you get a lot on the media, you watch discussion platforms, you literally do bird watching here. You observe the people for making your trip or making your business adventures here. Maybe sometimes the situation is a little bit stressy and you are not used in that kind of situation. It could all be a little bit chaotic, as I said earlier. Also with this combination, if we discover certain things, in the new venture that we want to take, sometimes it's wise not to tell everything that we discover, to keep it more for ourselves, so that we don't give away some catches that we actually keep better for ourselves and that would make us progress ourselves. Also, you will have quick reactions. You will be able to quick react if something, if you travel, you will be able to quickly act during the travel, or if you do business, the same thing applies. Then we come in the second line here. This would be your house. This could be your colleagues, your house, your friends, people close to you, co-workers. If this is the sphere on your work, the sphere on your work regarding to your work is very good. The flowers tend to make things smooth, sweet, sugar, chocolate. So this is a very good combination for colleagues. It could also mean that your house, big or small, it doesn't matter, but the house is very nice. It has something harmonious. People like the way your house look, and you're very committed to your house. It's like you have a contract on your house. If you maybe also in a way, it's possible that you're thinking about making some changes in your house, like redecorations, renovations, for upgrading the house. Even if the house looks very sweet, nice, cute, still you want to make, maybe you want to make some structural adjustments on the house. This is possible. Maybe some structures of the house are a little bit older and you want to adjust these. If this is on the co-workers or the colleagues or people who are close to you, the harmony with these people is very good. Also here, there's a sense of renewal. Something is coming back. It's possible that old friends are coming back to you, or that you have a very good connection with your colleagues, with your peers, people close to you. It's like you're actually, there's a solidarity here with these people. You trust them, and you have confidence in that, and the relationship is really very good with these people. There's a lot of on the house then, if this is your house itself. Also, if this is your body, because sometimes it's our body also, we take care of our body. Maybe sometimes we eat a little bit too much sweets or chocolate. That is possible also, because this is sweets and chocolates here. Here there's a lot of, also it's important for us probably sometimes that we have a lot of family gatherings. If we would have, if this would be represents our colleagues, it means that we have a lot of social contacts also with our colleagues and the people who are working with us. So this is very good for social engagements here. I already mentioned the change of the house. This is decoration, redecoration of the house. Maybe the house inside and outside is redecorated, but mostly this represents inside. You make it more nice. There will be a lot of planning here. There will be a lot of structure. Maybe the changes that you make on the house will be very nice, but also in a way they are traditional, they are predictable, but nevertheless, they are very nice and people like the way you change things. There's a lot of family gatherings here. You reconnect with your family. If you do the changes, people will flatter you for it. Also, it's possible that your colleagues are very close to you. You flatter your colleagues, or your colleagues flatter you. Maybe even if this would be on the work floor and you're a single, there's some flattery going on. Let's assume you are a flattery. Or it's possible that you work with your partner or with your wife in your own business, because sometimes this can represent the home business also. So it's like you're working together in the home business. If this would be a home business, this could be a business related to decoration, to renovating houses. But I mean this, it's more like an upgrade. It's not really structural changes here that we see. It's more like an upgrade, painting, making things more beautiful, give them the finishing touch. This is what we see here. And it's possible that we work with our spouse in this business. There's a lot of planning here going on, as I said, also like interior decoration. Maybe this need to be plans. There are contracts on the business here that I see here, and these are positive contracts that we have. The contracts that we make are very structural. We follow the contracts that we have. We keep our word to it. the way we operate is worked, is liked by the public. We see that here also, because this is the public. There's a certain structure and a certain distance, but anyway, it's like the way we execute our plans with the people. Some people might be, if this is on your home, some people, family members might visiting you. There's a comfortable way of socializing here. There's a good taste here, and all the people show gratitude here for you. In another way, these last two cards, maybe you're planning to make you buy another house, you are planning to buy in real estate, and real estate business is possible here also, or you yourself, you want to buy a house in the future. This could represent a bank. So it's possible that you are planning to renovate your house. Maybe you want to do some renovation inside of the house, or you want to change, because this is the structure also. If you go in further in renovation, this would be the structure of the house. And I would say here, if you want a bank approval, if you keep to the structures, the contract will come true, but you will need to respect the structures of the bank. Maybe certain requirements are necessary. Some collaterals may be necessary here. Sometimes with banks it's required, but the general idea here is, if you keep to the structure and you want a loan, you want a contract, these contracts are coming true. Remember what I said in the beginning of the reading for the contracts. If you do some things like this, it's better to wait after this period. Just wait it out a little bit, so there's no misunderstandings there. Here, this also, it can represent mortgages. Mortgages here, the last two cards here, they represent mortgages on a house. If you are not yet in the stage of buying a house, this could also mean a rental contract. If you rent the place, the place will be probably very nice. You will like the house. There will be some attachment to it. Maybe this is a house that is belonging to the family. It's possible also. It's maybe a house that has been for a while, a long time in the family. This is possible here also. You have, in a way, there are links to the house with you. Maybe it's close to you, maybe it's related to families, but in a way it's close to you. It's not unfamiliar with you. You keep to the rules. If people tell you these are the rules for keeping to the house, you will keep to the rules in the house. There's a certain structure here, rules you will obey for the house, maybe because you like the house, or that is the way you raised. Also, in a way, there's some also you will respect the boundaries if others respect your boundaries too. There's a form here of privacy also, but everything works out in a very harmonious condition. Then we have the third line here. We have the clouds, the woman, and we have the tower there. This is actually, if we are in some form of relationship, because it's possible also this work on the relationship front. This could be the man and this could be the woman, because this is the king of the house that we have here, and this is the woman. So this could be a couple, and this couple could be connected, and they are ready maybe to engage in something structural. This is possible. There's some thinking. So the couple is thinking. The thinking is this is the money I told you already. So this would be the renovation, and maybe the house is in abroad, because sometimes the tower could mean houses, properties abroad. So it's possible that the property is in another location. This is possible also. This could mean that you think about investing your money in a way abroad. So you're thinking about that together. Maybe the female person, she's thinking more about it, about the structures, and the man, maybe the roles are reversed, and the man is more thinking about the house itself. The woman is more maybe in the structure of the house for the loans, engaging in that, and the man is more occupied in the house itself. Or maybe the man here is more like a physical type, and he knows how to upgrade the house, and the woman takes more care of the structural side of the loans and things like that. But anyway, here the woman is thinking about these structures for following the rules and regulations. So here then we have the clouds and the woman. Maybe sometimes here the thinking is, would we really do this? Would we take this step? Sometimes maybe we cannot think clearly about it. We need to think about it before we make our actual decision. We cannot see clearly how to solve the problem yet, but it will come to us. And the solution mostly, here, this is the card that brings the solution, is that we need to keep a certain structure. We need to think in a certain way, and then the solution will come for itself. This is what we see here. Maybe in a way, there's some for getting this project of the ground. If the house would be related to abroad, there's some struggle going on, because we need to respect certain rules and regulation. We need to think about it. There might be a little bit difficult circumstances that pop up, but eventually it will come true if we keep to the structures here. As I said, I think the woman here, she's very focused for getting it around. This is what the woman wants, because the tower can make us very focused. It's also possible that if this is a real estate project, we are not unfamiliar with the house, because the tower tend to bring back things from the past. So it's possible that we are not unfamiliar with this house. Maybe we know this house from before, and also the ring is returning, because the ring is round. So it's possible that we are not unfamiliar with this house, but maybe it's becoming public sales. It's possible it's a public sales. So now for some reason, we need to think what we are doing, but we are not unfamiliar with the house. It's a house that we are well acquainted with out of the past. It's possible also in the beginning that we buy the house and we cannot actually immediately do the things that we want to do. We cannot immediately upgrade. So we respect the boundaries of the house, and we do the naked buying of the house, and we invest on the longer run. We are thinking about making the investment, the structures. We already know what we want. The commitment is already there. But if the house would be like a bigger house, let's say, if the house would be a big house, and it's really what we want, maybe we need to agree with a simpler lifestyle as we start out. This is possible here also with this combination, but we are very determined to have it. If we have a real estate business, we are also very determined to function in that line of work, because the tower gives us a certain structures, regulations that we apply on our business. Also, if we are in business, and this woman would be in business, she would be quite a strict businesswoman. She keeps to the rules. She knows her path, where she wants to go. She knows exactly what she wants. She keeps to the rules. She keeps to the regulations. And probably the husband, he will likes her for it, because she keeps and she sticks to the rules. So and actually this is a good combination as a couple. Here, this person actually is trying to master it. This is like becoming a master. So if you are a long time in your field of work, it's like you're ready to become a master in your field of work here. This is what we see here also. You're probably already for a while in that business, or you are well educated in the field. You're ready to become a master. In another way, if this is the tower, this could also sometimes point to religious structure that we follow. So this is possible also, but I think this is less obvious here. Also, sometimes here also we are advised not to stay stuck, but to move on. If there is certain problems, don't stay stuck in the problem. Just move on here. You need to set your priorities. If you want to take the decision, you can. Maybe you need to accept the situation as it is now, but you need to move on. You cannot maybe later on, if you would wait too long, the opportunity is gone. So you need to make your decision in the time to come. So you will need to make a decision. I don't say you need to make the decisions soon, but you will need to make the decisions, set your priorities, know what you want. If we need to start with sometimes out with less, maybe it's a good opportunity. We can do this project maybe on the long run. Also here, it's advisable, but I think you do. But this combination points to that we need to, as partners, listen to each other's opinion. Sometimes our partner can add to our opinion, or we can add to the opinion of the partner. So this is a good idea also with this combination. If you do, you may be able to solve problems that you thought you would not be able to solve. Sometimes if we see the problem from two different angles, we can solve the problem like that. It's important that you show cooperation with each other, because the ring is cooperation. So you need to structure your cooperation here as a couple. In a way here, it's possible that one of the two persons is more the creative type. If I see this as a couple, maybe one of the two is more in the sculpture business, like sculpture, working with his hand, working with things that need to be adjusted, with beautiful things, with stones, maybe stones, sculpture, maybe small stones. There's a lot of things here going on also for creative, because this is a creative combination. Also, maybe literally working with jewelry. This is possible also. This is a combination. There's many combinations here possible here, but this comes just into my mind also. Maybe we are very high here. This person has very high ambitions. Maybe she likes to dress up very formal. Maybe it's required for the job. I would say also, if she dresses up nice, this is like luxury clothes here that are worn. Maybe that is required with the job, but the person would be very nice dressed up here. Maybe it's required for the job. In another way, if you're more in alternative profession, because we need to see that things also, sometimes this could also be sometimes point to structural teachings, maybe like yoga teachings. Sometimes even in some cases it could mean midwifery. So because the midwifery, it's also connected to the house, it's our body. So it's possible that one of you both is involved in that. There's a lot of possibilities here that we can see. Then we have the vertical lines. We have the ship, the bouquet, and the clouds there. So this is like, if we want to make investments, we want to be sure that we invest our money in things that are nice, things that are beautiful. Our investments need to be secure. Probably we like to invest in beauty. If this is on traveling, we want to make sure that our travel is very comfortable, because the flowers like to be comfortable. So it's possible, if you want to travel, that you want to travel in luxury conditions, that you don't like simple conditions. You like it more luxurious. In another way, this is that we are exploring our social circle more. We saw that already earlier in the previous slide. Redecorating is coming here again. In some areas, maybe I mentioned this earlier, if you go in new projects, it's possible here that you go out of your comfort zone. You come in areas because the ship is traveling. So it's possible here you go out of your comfort zone. Things that you are not used, if you engage in a financial adventure or in a trip, that you cross borders, because we have the tower there also. So you go out of the comfort zone, things that you are not used to. You change your ways in a way. You embark on a venture. You're broadening your social circle, your social group. If you do leave, and this would be a final leave, but I cannot, if this would be a final leave, there would be like a party connected to it, maybe like a farewell party. This is possible also here that we see here. There will be a lot of hopes in this adventure. You're very inspired by this adventure financially or traveling like. Then we have the bouquet and the clouds. Here we see positive thinking, because the bouquet, it can break if the cards here, the clouds will be negative thinking. If there's some negative things going on in this project, the bouquet will break the spell. So the thoughts will be very positive in this adventure. Even if something negative pops up, it will turn into something positive to come here. This is what we see here also. Even if you think it's gonna end pessimistic, your pessimistic thoughts will turn out positive here. It's like you see more the pleasantries here of life, the pleasantries of the trip. Maybe you're a very serious type, but here you see the pleasantness in it. There's a form of gratitude here also involved. It might be also, if you're a woman in this case, that people find you very attractive. Maybe if you go in abroad, people come to you and they tell you, oh ma'am, you're a very attractive person. This is possible here also. Sometimes it happens, these things. Then we come in the second vertical line here. We have the birds, the house, and the woman here. This is literally the woman of the house. The last two cards, she's the boss of the house. She's in control of the house. But as we saw here, we need to balance things out with the partner. So we have the birds and the house here. In a way, sometimes this could mean that persons that are connected to us live also in the house, but maybe in another part of the house. So maybe there's more family members living in our house, but they live in a separate part of the house. Maybe it's a big house and these people live in a separate part of the house. Maybe it's a brother or a sister. Maybe it's a grandparent who was living, or a parent in the house. It's possible also, if you do some renovations on the house, as we saw earlier, that your neighbors are very curious to see what you're all doing there. So this is possible also, that your neighbors start to peek. So you need to be careful with that also. If you don't want the things to be seen, you keep your things more private here, because sometimes this can point to this connection also. There will be some noise if there are some changes in the house. So you need to also know, if you live there in that area during the transformation of the house, there will be some noise involved. So you need to take care of that also. So sometimes we cannot do something about. So if you want to minimize the noise, you will need to imply certain rules or regulations, or see that you're not in the house. We cannot change the house or the structures of the house without that we are making noise. It's possible also that some neighbors are gossiping about the changes of the house. In another way here, if you are in the real estate business, this points to a negotiator. This is a woman who negotiates about real estate. Then we come back in that area. In some cases, this could also point, if you are a very adventurous type or a more adventurous type, and we already saw here maybe that you break some boundaries, you go over your comfort zone. In some cases, this could also mean that you go on an adventure with a mobile home, because the birds are mobile. So the birds are moving. So, and this is the house. So you understand the combination. So in some cases, this could point to a mobile home here, if you're that type of person. It's also possible here, if you are in a certain profession, that you have a sense, a business feeling. This is a sense. Sometimes the birds make us feel the sense of the business. You know exactly where to go for the business. It's like you feel the business. You feel this house is coming for sale. Like you are at the right moment, at the right place for doing the business. Of course, you work also, and you will encounter more easy if you're always working, always on the road. We have a lot more chance for positive encounters for business. But anyway, you have also like a good feeling. It's like you sense it. It's like a sixth sense here for your business, that you have you're very good in this kind of business. In partnership, we didn't mention that area yet. It's sometimes also possible that there is a harmonious sexual relationship. We have the flowers here with the partner, that we are very happy with the partner, that the partner is happy with us, that we are satisfied with each other, because the birds live together in one house, and this could mean point to sexual activities. I think the partner here, he likes the woman a lot, or they like each other a lot. Then here, sometimes also here we can see that the job might bring some forms of stress, because the birds can be a little bit nervous. So maybe the job sometimes brings some stress here. We need to talk a lot. Here also you are urged to take care of your body. You need to eat well. You need to take care of your body. Sometimes we need to cut on chocolates, maybe, but anyway, we need to eat healthy and take care of our body, because if we have a lot of stress, this could be a problem here. But anyway, we communicate a lot about our job. There's a lot of communication, broadcasting. Maybe if you have a home business, these broadcasts are sometimes live from your house. Now there's a lot of inventions here with real estate, like you really show the houses on social media. This is possible also with this combination. It's possible here also with this combination. This is negotiating about a mobile home. I mentioned this earlier. You see your home is very important to you. You see it as a safe haven. It's important for you, especially the female person. She sees her home as a safe haven. It's very important for her that the structure is applied also in the house. But I mentioned, if you live in the house and you do some rearrangements, it will bring some noise. So be careful there. Just mind that you will need to handle the stress of the noise here also. What is also possible maybe is that during the renovation of the house, you choose to travel. This is possible also, and you leave somebody else in charge. This is possible also, that we have, because you don't want to be there, you want more peaceful area, and maybe when you come back, most of the structures are finished and it's just the interior decoration, and probably you want to be there for the interior decoration, but the structures are already finished when you come home. Some people prefer like that. Hobby like here, this is possible also, that you like that the woman, she likes singing here. This is a person who likes probably to sing. This is possible also with this combination. Maybe it's like a hobby here, if there is time for that. Would be a little bit stressful at home, especially if the business is in the home itself, it will be a little bit stressful. So sometimes maybe it's difficult to keep our structure. Maybe we need to structure more for keeping more peace in our house, because if our body gets too stressed, because here this is a relaxing card. So maybe if there's too much stress, you need to think about vacation, think about relaxing, thinking about being more alone, because the tower is alone. Maybe it's a good idea to relax here for a while. Then we have the house and the woman. This is the woman of the house. This person is traditional here, very family oriented. Even if no children, she's very focused on the house and on her partner. She likes the place where she lives. She's very traditional. She applies the home rules. She follows the home rules. This lady is real. She's not a fake. She's real. Then we have the third vertical line here. We have the garden and the ring here. This is like that we are very connected to the collective, to the people out, that we have a lot of communication. It's the same again here that we see. Also, probably we are members if we are very evolved in our life. Maybe if we already have a substantial amount of money, we are member of some select clubs. Because this points to also the tower here, and with the garden it points that we could be members of high society clubs here. This is possible. This also points to our marriage. Our marriage is very important for us. It's structural. We keep to the structure. We don't cross boundaries. We keep to our marriage. We stick to the marriage. We are traditional in the marriage. We stick to what we know. We stick to what we have. We have common purposes in the relationship. You and the partner have common relationships. You want to go in the same directions. You keep to the same structures. There's a team spirit here also as a couple, a structural team spirit. And then we have the ring and the tower. This gives us a certain structure. As I said, there's a structure in the marriage. Then we go on the cross here, the ship and the house. We come again in the mobile home. This is traveling. You want to travel. It's possible also that you could take a trip on a boat, on a ship, if this is already possible with the current conditions, with the health. But this would be possible also, that we take a trip on the water, or maybe we have our own vessel for the water. Maybe we take a trip with a boat, or we rent a boat. We make a contract on a boat. We take a trip with a boat. Maybe one of the boat partners know how to sail the boat, so this is possible also here with this combination. It's possible this is new for you, but in a way you know, or you take somebody with you who can operate the boat. This is possible also. If you do so, there's a form of comfort here. There's a form of comfort here. This is, if you do so, you will be planning this thing. You will be planning this boat trip or this boat journey if it would be on the water. It's possible that the boat is not so small, because the ship here the tower is mostly big. So it's possible that you go on a cruise in the future. This is possible also, because I don't know if this is already possible now with the current conditions that we are in. Then we have, this is a very structured home, a home that we keep to the rules. We follow the rules, we follow the regulations here as a person. We already saw that. Then we have the garden and the house, a lot of people coming in our house. We have a house of business. People come to our home. There's a lot of communication in the home. People talk to us. We talk to people. There's a lot of thinking about things we do. We already saw these combinations, so it's the same. So Scorpio, for the air group, this is a fairly good reading for you. I'm thinking you are embarking here on a structural adventure in the future, and there's some changes going on in your house. Or sometimes also, I mentioned this also, some changes on the body. Maybe we want to take care of our body. So Scorpio, for the card reading for September 2021, this is all for now. I hope you enjoyed your card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching the videos. If this video don't fit, please check out the other 3 videos also connected here. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to the Stone or the Earth group for the card reading for September 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that starting 27 September, Mercury is going retrograde, meaning it's not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, any kind of thing where you need to put your name under an official document. It's not a good time to do so. This is a period that is going up to 18 October. You will also see there are delays in traffic, there are delays in public transport. Sometimes you're in traffic jams, you're late at appointments, people come late at you. If you want to receive documents, the documents are late, the packages are late, the packages get lost, they come on later. So these are all things that are happening with Mercury retrograde. It's because our mind at that time is going a little bit slower. It's the collective, it's from all the people. Our mind is working a little bit slower. Also, it's not a good idea to buy new equipment for your house, for the housekeeping, for instance, laundry machines, not even like computers, laptops, even cell phones. Why? Because there's a warranty connected, and maybe a warranty problem pops up later on. So for some reason, if you would be obligated to sign a document and you have no other choice, double, triple check the fine print, because maybe some problem pops up with the agreement later on. My advice to you is not to do so and to avoid sign any documents during that period. Now, we start with the card reading for the stone group of Scorpio. So the first card here is your personal card. So it means this month there will be a lot of communication here for you. Maybe you are quite active in going out. You communicate a lot with people. But here, as we see the next card, it's possible that you are waiting. Maybe it's in line of what I just mentioned. You're waiting on some documents, and maybe these documents are a little bit delayed because the mice tend to delay documents. They cause delays. Sometimes also it's important, because this is an important document, because the letter is not just a letter. If it's just the letter, it represents more represented by the writer. But this is a substantial document. It means it is a document that has value. It's like a degree, a bond, something that has actual value, or that you can translate in value, like a bond or a degree. You can transfer that in money. It's possible here that the document is delayed. We already saw that, but also it's important that this document, you read the small print. It's important that you pay attention to the mice, because the mice are also, we need to pay attention on the small things in the document that we receive. If you receive a document, if you receive some package, check everything very thorough, check the details of the package, that afterwards there are no mistakes to be found. So we go in more details here now. We go on the rider and the mice itself. As I said, the message, some messages or some packages could get lost. In a way also, we are a lot outside, but it's possible in a way that we, in another point of view, we communicate less. We are a lot outside, but maybe we communicate less. Also, we need to be careful here that certain documents don't get stolen, because sometimes the mice steal. So it's possible here we need to be careful also with this combination. Maybe in a way, some people of us get literally mice in the house, so we need to be careful with that one also. Sometimes the card really does what it shows. Then here also we need to be careful if we communicate that we are not attacked from behind. That's not somebody is waiting for us to attack us from the back, or intrude in our private life, or even check packages that we receive. So if you order something online, see if you don't want other people to know what is inside, see that the package is neutral, that there is nothing on the outside, so people can see what you order if you like to do so, because some people around us are very intrusive and are very inquisitive what we order online. So we need to be careful also with that also. In another way also, sometimes this points to flu, or you could be careful, or you need to be careful a little bit here with your health. Maybe you could feel a little bit under the weather. Then we have the mice and the letter in itself. It's possible that some conversations that we have, that's maybe why we communicate less with people. Sometimes the conversation that what we have don't really satisfy us. It's like something wrong, that we don't like the communication. We don't feel that the communication is up to us, or we are not up to the communication. It's possible here that we have this also. Also, we need to be careful here. The person who delivers itself, I want to mention that also, that he don't take anything out of the package. We need to be careful. I don't want to accuse nobody here, but we need to be careful also with the delivery person here also, that he don't take anything from us that actually belongs to us. Maybe some, then coming back to the last two here, maybe some people around us, we want to talk to them less. We don't want contact with them anymore. We want to communicate less with them. It's like we want to diminish the contact or information we share with them. In some cases, but we will see later on if this is on a relationship front or if people come with us in contact, but we will see later how it goes, but I want to mention it already. In some cases also, this could mean that somebody is blackmailing us with information, that they know secrets about us, or they have information about it, or they have information required about us, and they are able to put pressure on us or stress on us with information they have. So be careful if you share information, if documents are coming to you, that you are the one receiving them and they come in your possession. It's possible also that people talk behind your back here. This is possible also. They try to maybe damage you. They try to damage communication with you. They are not totally honest. Sometimes here also this could mean literally lies are coming to you. There are false testimonies. People make false declarations. The conversations could be sometimes also exhausting. That's why maybe you don't want to talk anymore. The communication exhausts you. You don't like the communication, you dislike it. Sometimes also you will even express it. You want to get rid of it. You will probably tell that you're tired of the communication here with this combination. Then we go in the second line here. Before we go any further, I want to immediately go into the snake. If the snake is the central card, if you have a relationship with somebody, the snake always points to triangle relationships. It means that a person close to you, probably a lover, because you have the heart here, probably a lover close to you, there's dishonesty in the relationship. Somebody is hiding something in the relationship. So it means there's dishonesty, there's hiding in the relationship. Some person is hiding something from you. It's not clear if this is a woman or a man here, but we just leave it in a neutral way. So one of the partners is dishonest towards the other one. There's dishonesty towards the heart. This person hides things. He stays in the grass. He waits till the right moment. Also, the feelings are hidden. They don't really tell, or they hide what they are feeling. Maybe they have feelings for another person. Maybe there's communication with another party here, because I see communication also here with another party. But with the snake, we need to be extra careful, because there's something tricky going on, because the snake turns away from love. The snake turns away, and she turns away from love. It might not be obvious for you. Maybe there are a lot of feelings in this relationship and you cannot see it very clearly. Your point of view is not very clear, but here this points that the snake is always turning away from things. Sometimes if we are in love, or if we are in a love situation, we cannot see the things clear that are happening around us. This points literally to an unfaithful lover here. Also, one of the partners desires the other one, and maybe the other one wants to be free, because sometimes the snake also points to freedom. It's like we want to liberate ourselves. So maybe one of the two partners want to liberate themselves for some emotional reasons, or maybe there's another person involved. High likely there's another party involved. There's lies in the relationship. one of the parties will crave for the love, and one of the other parties is probably not giving enough love. So the balance is out here. But anyway, there's something going on here. This person also, he's calculated. You cannot see what is actually going on with this person. He hides the truth. He puts it in the grass. He stays in the grass till, because the snakes hides in the grass, till it's the right time to come out. This is a calculated person. He knows what he's doing. Maybe one of the two parties don't want to give in. They want to keep focused on the love, but maybe for some reason, because there's something going on here, our heart don't want to give up, but maybe it's not possible in a way to love this person. If this was not really clear for you in the past, this shows that something is going on there. Then we have the snake and the moon on itself. The moon softens up things a little bit. So it's possible that everything is a little bit covered up here. Maybe we don't communicate about our feelings, and it's not always spoken out. So because the moon tends to soften things up a little bit. So maybe there's not much communication about that, or it's not clear for both parties that this is going on. It's also possible that one of both parties is experience how do we say that, like negative attention. This person don't feel appreciated, and they experience it as a negative emotions, feelings in the relationship. One of the two parties will be a charmer. This is a person who has other objectives in this relationship. He's a charmer, he's enchanting, but one of the other persons is in love, and probably the other person is very annoyed about this whole situation. This, in another point of view, this points also to a creative person. I'm assuming here that the party here that is creative is the woman, because the snake is in the middle. So this would point to a creative person who likes to do what she does professionally, because the snake is pointing sometimes to the profession. It's also a creative person, because the moon represents creativity, the way our mind works. So there's a strong focus on the creativity. This could probably be an artist, some person who creates things out of love, if we see this in a total different angle related to the job then. This person is very professional also, or this person is very professional in the artistic field. The other party that is involved, sometimes this is really called a con person. So one of the two persons is in this relationship is really a con person. He knows what he's doing. He or she knows what she's doing. She's really using the heart of the other person for getting where she wants to be. There's a lot of disappointment here in the relationship then. It's also possible that then the other party, who, if you get to know this, that this other party, if there are mostly two parties, and here in this case there are three, one of the partners that is in this relationship, it's like they become obsessed with the competition of the other person that is in the relationship. They come bewitched of the other man or the other woman. We assume here it's a man. They really come bewitched of the other woman here in this relationship. They are really obsessed. They are focused on it. They have like dark feelings about this woman. Maybe there's in general, there's also a form of jealousy here involved here. Here also, this sometimes points to hypocrisy. There's like a dark shadow here over this relationship here that we see here. So this is possible here also. On the long run, this is not a healthy relationship. So it's advisable here, because we see the crossroads here. On the long run, maybe it's best to bug out of this relationship. If you're not aware that something is going on, you can be sure that something is going on there. This person is also selfish. also, this relationship is not only mental with this other person. The partner, one of the two partners, has also a sexual gratifying relationship for himself sexually with this partner. There's also something going on there on the sexual field. Probably you cannot see it very clear because everything is going on. The snake can be very sophisticated. So everything is going on in a sophisticated, in a smart way for hiding things up. Maybe there's, maybe something is going on there. The lover is really able to manipulate us here in these conditions. If this is on the work front, again, we go on the work front again now. It's possible that we are planning our progress on our career. This is possible then for us as a person. You know exactly where you want, you know what you want to achieve. You have a very strong ambition in your field of work here. You're very sensitive in your field of work. You are very intuitive because the moon can be intuitive in the field that he's working, like you really feel, and you love here the heart is on it. You really love the things that you are doing. There's also a lot of practical skills, or because the snake can be very skilled, so there's a lot of practical skills here involved in this area. A lot of inspiration also here. In some cases also it's possible that in another way you are also in the creative field, you are related to the movie industry, to the theater industry. This is possible also. It's like the world of entertainment, the world of illusion here is also possible here with this combination. In another way also, if we do something artistic, what is possible here also is that we are doing creative things with silver, because sometimes the moon, it represents silver. So it's possible also we do creative things, or we use things that are connected to silver if we are in the artistic field of work. Then here, here the snake also is very diplomatic. So if you want to achieve certain goals in your profession or in your field of work, it's best to be very diplomatic. If you are diplomatic towards people, you will be able to go the road where you want to go. This will make it more easy for you for achieve your goals and for following your path of life. You need to be diplomatic. If for some reason sometimes you feel short-tempered or you are moody, you need to try try to stay diplomatic. If you want to go where you want to go, if you want to follow your path of life, you need to apply diplomacy here. This is because this is the central card. You need to communicate in a diplomatic way to go your own way. And here, this is your path of life. This is the cross. The cross is our path of life. So if you want to go there, just be diplomatic about it. It's possible also here that you come in contact with high placed people, that if you are in an artistic field or in your work, it's possible that you come in contact with high placed people that can help you for progressing your career. So these people can help you to progress your creativity and to progress yourself more in life. And also it will give you more personal freedom. So this all comes with the diplomacy pact. So if you make a pact with your diplomacy, you will be able to get where you want to be. You will be able to focus more on the things that you want to achieve or that you want to go with your profession. It's possible also that your art, it has in a way, it has also like a dark concept. Like some artists have more a darker approach in things, like they do more like they do science fiction things like Dick and monsters and like this. This is also possible that there's some creativity in that kind of field, or even aliens like that that are here in this possibility. This is possible also on your creative field. You need to be careful also that you are not undermined by some people. You need to watch your back, that some people are not trying to undermine you. If you are a very creative person, maybe they are jealous of you because you are a very artistic person, and you need to be careful that they don't stab you in the back. As I said earlier here, there's a lot of, in the relationship coming back, there's a lot of divination here. In the relationship, really divination here. Maybe there's too much love feelings going on here. Also, it's possible, because we have the moon here, that this relationship goes in circle, because the moon is a circle, and it's like off and on, this relationship, this love and relationship. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off, but the reason is because there's something going on here at night. And then here it says also, I mentioned this already earlier, you need to, these are strong hopes, strong wishes for the career here. You cannot repress what you want, but you need to be diplomatic about it. Then we have the sit and the cross. The sit has two sides. It initiates something or it stops something. I'm assuming here this is about the career path, and I think we need to see the sit here as an initiator. So this is our path of life, and this is literally the road. So if you want, you will have opportunities now for opening your career path. It will not be easy. Your path will not be easy, because the cross don't make things easy, but it's our path of life. It's what we need to do. We need to be a creative person. We need to follow the rules, the regulations. We need to be ambitious in our job. And if we do so, we will come exactly where we need to be, but we need to keep a strong focus on it. Maybe some things in your life on the long run, because this relationship is not really healthy, as you already assumed, maybe on the longer run, you will end this relationship and you will go your own way on your own. Probably it will give you a feeling, if you finally end with it, it will give you a feeling of liberation, and probably other options will come to you, and probably more than you think. Maybe this relationship puts a strain on you, a stress on you, and if you eventually decide to go out of it, it probably will bring you a form of liberation in this context. It's this combination tells us sometimes also we need to stop, put a stop on things. We need to end some things. It's possible also that regarding this relationship, this causes us like a sharp pain. I don't say physical pain, but I mean, it causes us a sharp pain. This points also sometimes to a sharp pain. And at a certain point, we will cut the pain off. Excuse me. At a certain point, we will cut the pain off. We will have enough of it. The suffering will be enough, and we will go our own way, because it's been too much. It becomes a burden, and in the job then itself, you will be very efficient. Job like you're very efficient, because this points to efficiency. You're a very skilled, efficient person in the job field. Here, the cross and the crossroads, it points to, we have like here, sometimes we have like double feelings. Sometimes we want to be free, and sometimes we want to be responsible. It depends probably on our mood. One day we feel like that, one day it's like that. Sometimes we are creative, but sometimes we are burdened by our own creativity. We want to be free and we want to be creative. This is sometimes also the case here what we have here. But here, this points to making choices for staying or going here. This is like we are tested here for if we want to stay or we want to go, or we test ourselves if we want to stay or we want to go. This is what it means here. If you are a spiritual or a religious person, it's possible that if you are a very religious person, it's possible that you test your faith. You see what your faith brings you. If you are like, for instance, if you pray a lot, you see what this brings to you, and you test your faith here. Literally, this is possible also. Also, you will be confronted with the borders between tolerance and intolerance. Maybe if you know about this relationship, you test yourself how tolerant you are, how much you can bear, for later on to make adjustments. So it's like you want to test your own borders. Also, we will make certain deliberations over principles, convictions, responsibilities. We want to maybe change direction. If our faith or our religion is not satisfying anymore, we might be thinking, and it's like we make a deliberation here in what direction exactly that we want to go. So it's like for now, we are on the fork in the road. As you see here, this is a fork in the road. We want to decide exactly where we want to go. Then we go in the vertical lines here. We have the rider, the heart, and the sit. If this is on the relationship, here we saw it as an initiation, but on the love field, since we have the snake in the beginning, this is like a lot of communication with the lover, but you see here the sit. And I think on the long run, you will end with this relationship. You will put an end to it. You will cut your heart off. You will cut the heart off, and you will move on. Maybe this person, he visits you on a regular basis. Maybe sometimes you're working and he or she comes on convenient hours. It makes you maybe a little bit moody and you want to focus on what you do, but the person is there. So you need to make choices. Maybe this is also a factor in the relationship. So if you know this is going on, maybe your limitations are tested here also. This person will probably try to soften you up in a way. They are pushed their way into your heart, but if you get to know all this information and more information, even though you have a soft spot for this rascal type of person, you will break the news to them in a gentle way, probably that you want to move on. Then we have the heart and the sit. As it's clear to you here, this is the break between the lovers, the ending of the relationship. So this is a possibility here. If you're tired of it, you have too much heartache, you will separate from this person. You think for yourself it's the appropriate time to do so, and you will do so at the right time. You think it's justified for yourself, and it's been enough. So you will feel like, I need to act now, or else it's too late. I need to move on for this. I need to discontinue this. It's enough now. What happened to me? This is possible also. It's like here also this combination. We want to come clean with our feelings of love. We want to see it in a different angle. We want something else. It's not that we are not compassionate anymore towards the lover. Probably we are, because there's a lot of feelings involved. But in a way, we want to stop it also, even though we still care for the person, because sometimes we get hurt if we are too soft inside. And we know that Scorpion is a hard sign, but inside sometimes the Scorpion is very soft if they open their heart. Then we have the mice, the snake, and the cross. Here, we need to see here, this is like we have strong desires, motivations, but maybe because of these relationships, sometimes we are not motivated too well. It's a complex situation that we are involved in here, and we are dwindling a little bit. Our motivation is dwindling. We are dwindling a little bit. You have the feeling this is not going the right way, and you want to change direction here. Maybe you already feel this like a former affair, and you would want to cut with. This is what we see here also. I'm assuming here one of the two persons has quite substantial means here. So money might not be an issue in this relationship. So this is about more about love here. Maybe this person was connected to you before as a teacher, or he teach you some important lessons, or now you see that you learned some important lessons here that we see here. This is what we see here. And then here again, we see the praying aspect here, the testing of the faith. We see it again here, how determined that you will be, or how determined that you are in your love. Also, this points that you want more responsibilities as a person. You want to achieve more. You want to go your own way. You are single-minded about it, about this process that you want to follow your work. Even though sometimes it has painful moments, you want to continue with this thing that you have focused your mind on. Then we have the last line is actually a very good line. This is like we are communicating in a harmonious way. It's possible also that we receive a letter here from some organization that is honoring us. They are admiring our work, so we are honored for our work. Maybe you send something to them and you get a letter of honor back. Maybe you send an example to them from your work, or in a way they get acquainted with your work, and this brings you in another role. So because this sometimes means honors, we get honors, we get a package, a letter, a substantial letter, an important letter from honors that comes to us. It's like this letter, it's like it's meant to be. It's like a karmatic letter. It needs to come to you. It will have a very big impact on your fate. So career, like I would say, this is going very well. This is like actually like fan mail. So this person really adore what you're doing, and they really appreciate the work that you are doing. Also out of this, it's possible that more communication comes out of this. The communication with these people could be quite deep. You could like the conversation. They communicate what you think, because the mind is think. So what they write, you think. So, and this brings you in contact with them, and you are thinking the same here. In another field, it's possible also, but this is a total different angle. It's possible also that you search on the internet for your astrological birth chart, you fill in all the requirements there, and you make your own birth chart on the astrology for knowing exactly what you want on the field of work. And this will have a positive effect on you, probably. This is also, you receive business cards from these people because they want to stay in contact with them. This is official business news. They want to talk to you. They want also that you express what you feel to them. They want this, and you express to them, and they express to you. So this is what is going on here. Also, it's possible that these conversations have place in a different time zone, because the conversations are in the night. Maybe these people are in a different location, or this conversation have place at night for some other reason, because the moon is the night. Also, it's possible that you have that you are relying. Most artists do this. Sometimes they have dreams and they apply these dreams in their work. If you are doing this, so this is also points to that you apply your dreams in your work. Sometimes we do this. Then we have the moon and the crossroads itself. So our emotions, our feelings bring us in another way. The honors that we bring us in another position. There is soft communication. in the beginning, maybe we might doubt about this a little bit. We don't know exactly what we need to choose. Our feelings, if involved, maybe our feelings are all over the place. Maybe it's then also related to the previous relationship or the relationship that we are still have. But here anyway, a new path for you is offered, it's shown to you. So you have a lot of possibilities here to move on, to go your way. So this is possible for you here also. But eventually, you will need to make a choice here, what you are doing professionally and also on the other fronts of your life. You will have several options because you have the rider and the crossroads. So this means that there are several options here that you are offered to you. Then we come in the cross, the rider, the snake, and the crossroads. Then it's on itself. Again, lies are coming to us, deceptions, some news. Maybe we hear some gossip, and in a roundabout way, the truth comes to us, not directly but indirectly. Because the snakes go roundabout. This news might be related to a woman. Lies, we already saw this. Also, this connection, these two cards here, they urge you, if you receive certain information, business-like or love-like, about your love-like, don't share what you know. Just for now, keep it to yourself till you're emotionally ready to share. For now, it's best to keep to yourself. This is what these cards tell us also. Your advice is here by the cards. You will also try to move, to get things on the move. Then we have the snake and the crossroads itself. Eventually, you will need to make the decision. You will be focused. If you are finally there, you will finally make the decision. The decision also can be complicated. Maybe there are several options and you choose several options, and this will complicate the whole thing. So it's possible that you choose several things. Just see that all decisions that you make are correct. So if you choose several things, be sure that you can manage it, or it's the right things that you choose. Then here there's also a strong focus on the changes here. Also here, maybe you're a very long time in the same position. You have always done the same field, same things in the artistic fields, and you're ready for a change. And also for your love life, it points to a change. You want to change for the sense of direction. It's possible also that if you go out of this previous relationship, that you experiment love-like with a new lover. This is possible also, but not for the sake of love. This would be then solely for the fact of the experience that you want to have. Then we have the letter, the snake, and the sit. Again, we need to see the news that we have is honest. This is also about communicating about your desires. This is probably related to your work. This is news also of betrayal, as I told you, but you need to keep quiet about it if you can. You will make certain or put certain demands in place that you don't want this or that anymore. So this will happen also. This can then also mean that you send your resume or you send your work somewhere, things that you made before you send them somewhere, and they will initiate in something new. This is what it means also. Here also you are advised, if you have communication about your career, to be very tactful. Don't get emotional, be tactful. You can share your emotions about your work, but you need to be tactful. You need to be very tactful and diplomatic here. In the relationship then itself, if you finish the relationship, you will not finish till you feel that everything is said, is all said. You will not stop the communication till everything is off your heart. This is also what is happening here. And then we have the sit and the snake on itself. Here, this is pointed again to jealousy here. There's jealousy here. It's possible also that our desires end towards a person. We already saw that here. If you have competition in your field of work, you will have no feelings for them. You will be ruthless to get your achievements. So if you are in ambitious field, even for creativity, you will go all the way for achieving what you want. As we know, Scorpion is a strong sign, so you will go do everything to achieve your goal. This is what it means also. This is literally, we go for the kill here, but then not in a physical way, but in a metaphorical way. There's a radical transformation going on here that can bring you in another area. Some things in your career, maybe that you did before, or some fields in your work can be discontinued. So it's possible that if you have a more traditional work, that some fields related to your work are not there anymore. They end. This is possible also here. Certain goals or certain achievements are reached, they are passed, and it's time for something else. In a way, also sometimes this combination, this is a strong combination also on the sexual front. I want to mention this also. It's possible here that in sudden times we have very strong urges for being sexually active. This is possible here also. We also need to be careful to not get emotionally hurt. This is possible also with this combination. So, Scorpio, this is a rather extensive explanation we had here for the stone group. I hope you liked this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. If this reading don't fit you at all, just check out the other 3 videos that are connected here. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello, Scorpion, and welcome to the Fire or the Matches group for your card reading for September 2021. Excuse me. Now, before we start this card reading, I want to mention that starting 27th of September, Mercury is going retrograde, meaning it's not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, arrangements, everything you need to put your name under. It's not a good idea during this period. This is going from 27 September up to 18 October. So at that time, it's best to avoid signing contracts or agreements or make any form of agreements or things you need to put your name under. You will also see during that time things go a little bit slower. You're late at appointments, people come late to you. When you receive packages, they are late. If you receive emails, sometimes these emails are late. If you receive packages, sometimes they are wrong delivered. You're in traffic jams. These are all things that are happening during Mercury retrograde. It's because the mind of all people, of our collective, is working a little bit slower during that time period. It's also not a good idea to buy new electronics like cell phones, laptops, or devices for the home like laundry machines, microwaves. Why? Because there's a warranty connected to it, and later on there might be a problem with the warranty, or it's not really the device that you actually wanted, or the device is wrong delivered, or it's the wrong device that is delivered to you. Anyway, the main point is that you avoid to sign contracts during this period. If you, for some reason, are obligated to sign a contract or you have no other choice than signing, double, triple check all the fine print so you are sure the contract is solid, because mostly later on we change our mind or there was some clause in the contract that we did not see. So be careful, be mindful about this whole procedure. Anyway, Scorpio, here we go for your card reading for the matches group. So the first card here that we see, here is the cloud. It means the clouds. It means there's a lot of thinking going on here for us. We want to make up our mind about certain things. Probably we are thinking about making some investments. Maybe these investments are related to abroad. This could be related because the ship is money, traveling, longings. Maybe we are thinking about this project for a long time. Maybe we want to do this project in abroad. Maybe there is money involved in this project. It's possible also that this project is related to beauty, fashion, things that make life easier. Sweets also are possible. So it's possible that you're thinking for a while about starting a project in that area. Before you make this decision, it's wisely to think about it in a slow way, that you are sure that your investments are correctly done. So this thinking might not be a bad idea. I'm not saying that the project is gonna go bad, but I'm saying here you need to think wisely and check all the angles of the project here. You need to make sure this will bring you sufficient profits, or the profits that you expect to get from it. Here, it's possible also, if it's done on the traveling area, if you're planning to travel, it's possible that you go on a travel and that you buy a ticket, an original ticket with a certain destination, but you did not actually decide what is your final destination. It's like you just buy a ticket, you think, oh, this is a nice location, I go then first, but your final destination is not yet clear. This is possible also. If you do so, the trip will be quite expensive, or you will spend quite a lot of money for it, because you want to do it in luxury, in style. You want luxuries with you, you want the good life. So this is possible here with this combination. It's possible also that your end destination, where you're actually going, that you are not unfamiliar with the place. It's like there's a renewal here. Maybe you've been there before to this place. There's like a renewal going on here. Something is renewed here. Maybe there's a contact been before. Maybe there's a contact with a woman, and that is eventually the end of the journey where it's going. But the start out may be a little bit unclear when you start off. It's possible also that for now there has been some distance, if there was a woman involved, that before there was some distance with this woman. There was not so much communication with this person, possible for some reason, but this will improve now, since we have the flowers there, and the flowers renew things. So there will be more contact, as we see further on in the laying also. There's some changes going on here. We want to change some things. Also, we need to see here, if we go in this business venture or in this relationship, that we don't do it out of disparity. We need to stay focused on what we really want here. We need to keep our focus. So this don't turn into a journey with no purpose. We need to stay focused. We need to keep a certain focus here in this thing. You need to think about where you really want to go for this fresh start or this new beginning. Don't be disoriented. You can leave without a destination, but try to make up your mind as you go, because maybe you come eventually in uncharted waters. It's possible here, but eventually this is a good card, so it protects you. But maybe in some places we come in uncharted waters, and we are not familiar with the whole thing, and maybe you don't like then the place where you are. So just make sure that you go in the right places, because you want to be in good conditions there, because we have the flowers here. The flowers protect you, and they will protect you for bad conditions also. But anyway, we need to think wisely if we go on a trip just with a plane ticket. Then we have the ship and the bouquet itself. There will be more contacts in our social life in general compared to before, but now we are still thinking. There might be some thoughts about a woman far away, a person far away. Maybe this person is very charming. Also, if you go there, if that is your final destination, you will be welcomed there. There will probably, if you arrive there at the woman itself or at the person itself, you will see there are some changes also. She's reorganized. She looks more pretty probably in your eyes. And also sometimes, maybe you're more a traditional type, you will be willing to go out of your comfort zone. So here, this travel might bring you out of the comfort zone. You will change your ways. Also, probably you will praise this woman. Maybe you praise her because the changes you made, and maybe there are changes you both make. It's possible also here that before you go, there is a party going on, that you say goodbye to your friends. There's some kind of a party, a farewell party here. Then we come here, the key, the birds and the woman. So we saw before here, maybe there's less communication possible, but here the key opens all doors. So this gives you an opportunity. The key is given here you in your hands for communicating with a certain female person. If you're a woman and you have communicated less before, you will communicate more. Anyway, the birds, they represent also activity. Sometimes they represent stress, and even they can represent noise. So it's possible here that there's a lot of communication, and the communication might be quite intensive. Maybe sometimes it's stressing, but we should keep it in a harmonious way, and maybe it's not needed that everything is said, because we have the book here and the coffin, so it's possible that we don't need to say everything. Maybe we are a little bit worried about opening up what is in our mind, what we think. We are a little bit worried, but here with this combination, there's assumed that the worries that we have will disappear. There's successful communication here. We will, maybe before we are a little bit restricted, but this will send us on our path of the journey, and it's like we are feeling unlocked communicatively and physically. We feel unlocked, we are freed here with this combination. It's possible also that you communicate about that you're finally free. You don't hide it under a bushel. You really come open with it. You said you are happy, I'm happy to go, that I can finally travel, or I can finally do this project. Also, if you communicate, it's like you know here what you're saying, what you're talking about. It's like there's a very clear communication here between the persons as a couple here, because this is a couple, the birds are a couple, they live together in the nest. So if there's a woman involved, the communication will be very clear for both parties. It's like they sense each other like a sixth sense, with communication involved in each other. I'm assuming here the woman is the main factor in this communication, but the communication between both parties is very intense between these two partners. Also here, it's possible that some things that were hidden before, because we have the coffin and the book here, it's possible that some things that were hidden before are explained. So this is possible also. It's possible also that this opens literally new doors. Also, there's a possibility here, because the birds are together in one house, and you already hear me coming here, it's possible also there is intercourse possible here, that these two people engage in sexual activities. This is possible here also. Then in some way, you will allow a lot of communication, but I think also you will put limitations on it. Maybe before also, you are in a more stressful situation, and because you are relieved now, you feel more happy, you feel more relaxed. Before, maybe the things were inconsistent or maybe more chaotic, but maybe this brings more stability. You're probably excited here about this new inspiration that you get about this travel project or this business project that you have, and probably things will speed up very fast because the key opens the door, and this is fast. So the key opens very fast, and probably this woman is involved in the business project that we are about, or the trip. But as I said, think wisely about what actions that you undertake. Then we have the birds in the woman itself. It's possible also that the woman in herself, she's nervous for meeting you, or you're nervous for meeting each others. It's possible that the woman is in some kind of been in some kind of difficulties before, but I'm assuming here this is resolved, and she will not communicate everything about she has endured before. She will keep some things to herself. It might be not a bad thing. It's not that the secrets are necessarily in a bad way, but some things maybe she preferred to keep for herself. It doesn't mean that she's not going to talk, because this is a very communicative line, but it doesn't mean that everything needs to be said. If I point, if this is you as a person, this is a quick-witted person, a woman who's quick to react. Also, it's a mobile type. This woman can do many things at the same time. She's like a multitasker here. So this is what we see here also. Then we have the anchor and the coffin. The anchor, and then we have the ring and the ring and the coffin here. So this means that there could be an end of the relationship here. There's a transformation in the relationship, and I don't know, in some way here this is all positive, but the last line seems a little bit difficult. Maybe one of the both of you comes out of a transformation in a relationship, and there are still secrets attached to that. So maybe everything in this relationship is not yet said. Some things need to stay secret in this relationship for now. Here, the coffin and the book then in itself, this means secrets will stay. Not everything is expressed. I mentioned that earlier already. Some truths, because this is the book of truth, will be painful. Maybe some things come open, and some things are painful for this person or for both of you, and you will both discover painful truths here. This is what it says also here. Maybe things that you experienced before out of the relationship, you want to forget them. You don't want to be remembered of them. That's maybe why you don't want to talk about them. So certain things that happened probably in previous relationship, you bury them literally out of a previous relationship, and you don't want to be reminded. You don't want to talk about it because you actually want to move on. You want to experience different things, and you don't always want to be reminded on this relationship. Then we have the vertical lines here. We have the clouds, the key, and the ring here. Here, this means the clouds and the ring. It means that we are thinking about solutions for this relationship. So if there were problems before in a certain relationship, we will get the key here in our hands to solve the problem. So this is what it says here. If there are some relational problems, we are handed here the key in our hands to solve certain solutions. I'm not saying that everything will be set, but here at least We have the key in our hands to solve the problem. We will first think about it. We are offered the solution. And this is related to this relationship. If this is related to a business contract, it's also possible that we have opportunities here for a business contract. But with the coffin, we always need to be a little bit careful here, because some of these things might not be, there might be some secrets involved. So you need to see, as I said earlier, you need to see that everything is straightened out here, that everything is clear for you in this business contract. Even though there's a lot of communication, it doesn't mean that everything is said, because the coffin tends to hide things. Maybe there is something hidden in this business contract that you don't know of. So be careful what you do with the contract, because if you don't check it out well, it might end up not well. So because the coffin tends to transform things. Maybe some old things, eventually things will get clear to you, because eventually we have the key here. Maybe this woman helps to solve this problem, and the key opens here the secrets of the coffin. So it's possible some things become clear to you on the business front or on the relational front. Even if they are not set, things will come to you, secrets will be revealed to you. So maybe it's best here, because the book is a slower card and the coffin is also a slow card. So it's best here to wait things out, till everything is clear, till you have all the information and you have thought enough about the information that you received. Then the solution might come, and it's possible that this woman will help you in achieving this project. But as I said, see that everything is secure there, that everything is stable, so you don't come in a problem that you encountered before, because this is possible also, because the ring is round. So we need to be careful not to get involved in the same problems that we had before. Then we have the ship, the birds, and the coffin. The ship and the birds is there's a lot of activity during the travel here, if this is about travel, or a lot of activity in the business adventure here. It's possible sometimes also you're a little bit worried because you go in undiscovered territories for yourself. You might experience some stress maybe because of that, because of the travel, I mean. At some points also you will not communicate so much. You won't have to have moments of silence. Maybe this is possible also. Maybe before in your life you had a very stressful period and you want some rest now. Your body needs some rest, and maybe this trip gives you the required rest to recover. Maybe you are really deeply stressed to the core, and you need to rest for a while. Here also this points that a difficult period in our life might be ended. Something new is about to begin, but we cannot see clearly because it's the book there. We cannot see clearly where this is going. It's still not clear where we are going, but I'm assuming this woman has a part in it. Also, while you are alone, in rest, in quiet, some things out of your childhood may pop up in your mind. Things that you experienced as a child might come back to you here with this combination. It's possible you're ready to letting difficult situations out of your childhood go. This is what we see here also with this combination. It's like a letting go here that we have here. Sometimes also we have like very deep feelings. It's possible also that we have connections to the other side. Some people have that. Maybe you're not familiar in that territory, but maybe sometimes you have deep feelings, or maybe you have contacts with people. For some of you, it will not apply, but this combination can mean we have, because this is the ship, it brings us to the other side. The birds are communicating. This is Mercury. He's the god of travel, so he can go everywhere, even in the underworld. So it's possible here, these are the thoughts, that you have communication in a way, maybe in your dreams, maybe if you're in half awake, that you have communication here with people in the other side. This is possible also with this combination. But also it will make you very vigilant. This combination will make you vigilant, you're quick-witted. Sometimes also maybe you will be, because you are stressed before, you want to have rest. Very alert, we saw this here already. We saw already the partners, also the interaction with the partner here. It's possible also here that you experience some heavy things in your childhood and you write it down. It's like you write it down, those experiences. It's possible here also, like it's a painful process here to remember out of your childhood, but you want to write it down. Maybe you want to write it down for yourself because you want to let it go after. Then we have the bouquet, the woman, and the book. As we saw here earlier, this is a charming woman, a woman who's a charmer. She's nice, she's kind-hearted, she don't share everything that she know. You enjoy her company. She's appreciated by you and you are appreciated by each other. You're welcome there as a visitor. You feel welcome. She welcomes you. You welcome her. You welcome each other. This person also could be quite educated. In some cases, this could be a teacher, somebody who's teaching with the book here. If not so, this person is very skilled in her profession. She's an expert in her field, or she's trying to be an expert in her field. She's intelligent. It's possible also that she's an academic. If she's in a higher field of the job, she's an academic. If not so, she's very high skilled in the job that she's doing. She has a lot of knowledge. She knows a lot of facts about her job. And she has a lot of truths. She has a lot of experience in the truth, but it doesn't mean she will communicate everything with you. Then we have the clouds, the birds, and the book. The clouds, the birds, and the book. What does that mean? Well, it means that we need time to think. We need to see things clear, as we mentioned earlier, because we cannot clearly see our point where we are going. We saw this earlier. This is coming back here. It also means that we have here that sometimes also we need to be careful here. I didn't mention this before, but if you have a lot of contacts on social media, it's possible here there is some gossip going on social media. If this makes you stressed, this gossip that you're experiencing, it's possible also that you make an end to that. You maybe don't want that stress for now, and maybe you make an end to it because you want to keep your things private. So sometimes it's wise also not to post everything on social media, to keep a certain distance here, because sometimes it brings misunderstandings that we don't really want to get involved in. It's possible here that people talk behind our back. They gossip maybe of certain business decisions or certain steps that we take towards another person, about our personal decisions, that people gossip about that like that, and we don't want that. Also, it's possible also because you don't have all the facts for now, that you don't know where you're going yet, that it makes you restless in a way. It gives you a form of restlessness here. Then we have the birds in the book itself. this points to a person also. We saw that already, a lot of knowledge here. If you're a woman, you have a lot of knowledge. We saw that here. If you can also put yourself there as a man. It applies also on the man because this is actually a neutral card. But except for the things, of course, I said with beauty there, but this could mean like a handsome gentleman also. This could also be the case. Then here, this could point again to a teacher. I mentioned this earlier. It's more like a student teacher. Maybe it's a teacher who still studies or a studying for teacher. Both are possible here. Or it's a teacher who still does additional studies. This is possible also. So it's like a simultaneous education that we have here. It's also possible that we are tired of the social media and we open a secret account to talk to certain people in a different way. Maybe we are tired of our regular contacts and we want to communicate with certain people, but not with the regular channels. It's like we make an additional channel to talk to people that we really want to talk to because we want to relax. This is also, and to that person also, if you have certain things that you want to share, you will share that with a very select group of people. This is what it means also. Maybe you are worried about some truths that are coming out for you. I don't say these are bad secrets, but some truths you prefer to keep for yourself. As we know, Scorpion is the sign of secrets. Scorpion like to have secrets. Maybe some things you like to keep for yourself and you talk to this about a very select group of people. In another way here, this makes you a very quick student. Your mind is reacting very quick. You are quick to learn. You're quick to get experience. You're quick to learn even out of books. If you don't have actually practical skills, you're easy to put your practical skills into actually a working environment if this would be necessary. Then we have the bouquet and the bouquet, the book, the bouquet and the birds here. This means that the communication that we have with the person that we like to communicate with is very harmonious. The bouquet tends to make things easier. So we could experience even if we have some stress with certain persons that we want to communicate with, this communication could be more relaxed. It's like us, it's relaxing us because the flowers makes things easier. It makes things smooth. It's more like eating like a candy. It goes a little bit smooth, like the communication is very smoothly here. It's possible that there is communication here about a certain relationship that you are thinking about, certain relationships, but maybe previously you have been undergoing some changes in those relationships, as we saw earlier, that you don't want to talk about. But here, these two cards means that there is a lot of communication in the relationship. You talk a lot about with each other about possibilities that you have. But as I said earlier, not everything will be said. So, Scorpion, for the fire group, this is all for now. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 readings that you are seeing connecting to these videos. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you maybe next time. Thank you. Bye-bye for now.